What's up, Game of Throners? It's your boy DJ Wun Wun here, back at you with another recap and review of Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 3. It's the Oathbreaker. Want to give a shout out to all my mother dragons out there. Hope you all had an absolutely fantastic Mother's Day and had a good time, and then got to sit back and watch some Game of Thrones. It was a great episode this time. If you saw my last video of some of the predictions, I got a couple right, got more wrong. Of course, none of the tinfoils were right. Maybe someday, but that's why they're tinfoil theories. But yeah, it's a bummer we didn't get to see Dawn. We got to see Arthur Dayne, and we saw him just tear shit up. That was pretty awesome. But yeah, kind of wanted to see him do Dawn. I don't know why they couldn't just have him with one cool white sword and had to put him with two. Probably just wanted to make it look like, make sure everybody knew he was the best swordsman there, which was, I thought it was pretty obvious, but I guess they thought it was easier to do with two swords than one. But I wanted to see the Sword of the Morning with the Sword of the Morning. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely called that the Tower of Joy scene pretty much step for step. They're going to have an awesome fight, and then as soon as he went inside, they were going to break out of the video, and that'd be that. So I knew we weren't going to get to see Lyanna in there or anything. It was cool. We even got to hear her yell out, though, so that was pretty tight. I was totally wrong about the surprise. Everybody else was right. It was Rickon and Shaggy Dog. Oh, really? You just had to kill another direwolf, you bastards. Oh, and with the hook in his head, too? That was so wrong. Oh, that was terrible. That was terrible. But yeah, all in all, this was a pretty great scene, and yeah, man, I loved it. So let's get into it. You were dead, and now you're not. I did what I thought was right, and I got murdered for it. Now I'm back. Why? I don't know. Maybe we'll never know. Ha! A wink and a nod to the theorist out there. This week opens up with Jon trying to regain his senses. Davos is there to help him along, and Melisandre comes in wide-eyed like, holy shit, it worked? She wants to know what it's like on the other side, but he says there was nothing. She starts right in with her prince that was promised shit, and Davos was like, can you step outside for a minute? Which I totally get, but she must have been like, wait, I was the one who brought him back, right? And you're asking me to step outside? Davos has heard and seen enough when it comes to this prince that was promised BS, and he's just glad to have Jon back. Time to see the sea with Sam and Gilly. Now I know there's quite a few fans out there that really hate these two, and this scene really didn't help that cause. Sam's actually one of my favorite characters, but I see now it's mainly because of the books. We absolutely could have filled this space with a more interesting plotline. We could have knocked this out with 2 lines back at Castle Black. Where's Sam and Gilly? On their way to Old Town. There, done. We could have skipped this whole scene. Did anybody really need to see a fat man puking into a bucket for 4 minutes? I guess after 2 episodes, they felt they had to get these 2 actors back on screen, but, wow, good thing we never got Strong Belwas, Darkstar, or Cold Hands. Unbelievable. As weak as that last scene was, this should more than make up for it. We have finally arrived, the Tower of Joy, and you know it's about to be on. Yeah, that was pretty lame how they gave him 2 swords instead of just letting him tear it up with Dawn. Like I said before, I guess they felt the only way to show how much better swordsman he was to give him the 2 swords, but damn it, I wanted to see Dawn. Oh well, other than my tinfoil version, this scene went down pretty much shot for shot how I called it. Even the heading into the tower and then Bran being taken from the dream. So I guess it was kind of predictable, but I still loved it. Why is that the only lesson Bloodraven seemed to want Bran to get from seeing all this? Can you really drown from staying under the sea too long, or is Bloodraven just on a schedule? I like how D&D explained how these two have been in battle for almost a year, and at this point they're just war-hardened and just do whatever they need to do to get the job done, sometimes having to play his honor aside. Back under the tree, and Bran's upset. Why did you make me leave? I told you, if you stay too long, you'll drown. You won't be here forever. You won't be an old man in a tree. But before you go, you must learn. Learn what? Everything. And I guess we just got Leaf and her little buddy over there checking all this out. We have no idea, but they're up to something. Out to Vostothrak, and hey, Khaleesi, move your ass. Dany makes it to Horse Lord Central, and she is not happy. She spouts off all her titles and sees they do not mean shit here. These other Khaleesi's couldn't give 2 dragon flames about who she says she is. They all seem to be taking a little pleasure in her being brought here. I guess haters really are everywhere. She got to venture out into the world, and when her call died, and this is absolutely forbidden. You can see the envy and haterism in the eyes of half the women in that room. I think the one who snatched Dany's dragon necklace off with a smile might be Dragon's first appetizer. Over to Marine and a sweaty Varys. He's found the hooker helping the harpy. I guess the birds in the east really do sing the same as they do in the west. While Tyrion, Grey Worm, and Missandei await Varys' return, Tyrion's bored and wants a fun way to pass the time. It looks as if he's finally realizing just how different he is from these former slaves. His wit and sarcasm are totally lost on these two. Thank goodness Varys soon returns, and he's found out who's financing the Harpy. Time for a conversation. Over to Birds of a Different Feather, we see Qyburn is in full control of the flock. The little birds ask if Varys will be back. He was nice. See, I told you, hooker from Marine. In walks Frankenmountain, and the children are terrified. No need to be afraid. This is Sir Gregor. Wait, what? I thought his name was Robert Strong. Which would make the reveal of Robb Stark's head attached to him even cooler. When those kids were standing there staring at him and already wet themselves, weren't you just totally waiting for him to go, boogie woogie woogie? I would have fell off my chair. You want a shocking moment, D&D? That would have been a great one. I did love Jaime talking shit about him to his face, and then he just snaps his neck to stare at Jaime, and Jaime jumps back. The sound effect of his armor moving are so clean. Frankenmountain is rapidly becoming one of my favorite characters. He understands well enough. And so does Cersei. She hasn't forgotten or forgiven anything. The rage is real. Cersei will have her revenge. Into the small council for another gratuitous scene, and I guess they didn't want us to forget that these characters still exist. No, we can't make you leave, but you can't make us stay. And did Pycelle really shard himself when he saw Sir Gregor? I mean, really? We're reducing it to fart jokes now? Come on. 40-minute episodes and now fart jokes. It's a slippery slope, D&D. I did like the cooing sounds at the end of the scene. It's supposed to be like crickets after somebody told a bad joke. And I loved Mace Tyrell's facial expressions. I mean, he was definitely the scene stealer here. And he never even spoke. He's really a great actor. His smug, unknowing aloofness is spot on. And he kills most of his scenes without ever uttering a word. I really think this scene was kind of a subconscious bitch slap from D&D. Every actor at that table was over 60, and just the words they said. We can't make you leave, but you can't make us stay either. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Over to a soon-to-be-dead High Sparrow with King Softer Than Butter. It's ridiculous how often we're forced to wish Joffrey was back just to take care of this fanatical fool. But I'm sure Mr. Mountain will have something spectacular lined up. Tommen goes in strong, but instantly gets talked down and outplayed by the Sparrow of Lies. We see, as with many with high status within the church, he is a master manipulator. Who are you, Thwack? What's your name, Thwack? I sure hope there's some of Arya left after all this training. She is getting brutalized, mentally and physically, by the waif. She's going to be more than a ninja when they get through with her. She has taken some beatings, but by the end of it, our girl was getting it done. She finally held her own against the waif, and I get it, it's just training, but didn't a little part of you want, just once she was good enough, to beat the living shit out of the waif? Just once. I don't know, maybe it's just me. And I know I wasn't the only one thinking, you better not kill her, kindly old man, Jaqen H'ghar. Tell me you weren't holding your breath a little bit when Arya drank from the well. If her girl is truly no one, you have nothing to fear. Well, I was fearing, but Arya made it. Question is, now is she truly no one? Traveling to the north, and it looks like everybody else was right, and I was wrong. It's not Reek as the gift. It looks like it's poor little Recon. And did the Umbers change their banners? What was with the X and the chains? Here we are. Times change. Your father was a cunt. Inside Winterfell's great hall, and the new lord of the last hearth has brought Ramsay a gift. I hope it's a girl. I like redheads. Looks like the new Lord Umber is the new Lord Ramsay's kind of people. Notice I didn't say Lord of Winterfell. He's about as much lord there as Theon was. I brought a girl, aye, a wildling, and a boy. Young, the way Karstark likes him. Who's this? Rickon Stark. How do I know that's Rickon Stark? Oh, no, don't say it isn't. Ah, shit. They killed Shaggy Dog. So not only was I wrong about going against the grain and saying that the surprise would be Rion, yeah, he's still not full-on Theon yet, but all that talk about the Shaggy Dog being a story that goes nowhere is true? That sucks. Welcome home, Lord Stark. I'm actually going to hold out hope that this is all a ruse. It's a big setup, and these guys are just coming in to get the bastard Bolton. There's no way. Did the Umbers really just change sides? And that wasn't really Shaggy Dog. That was like some other stuffed animal that they put. I don't know. Is Shaggy Dog really dead? And with the hook in his head. But wait a minute. Didn't the great John Umber walk out of the Red Wedding to go take a piss? Didn't he get away? So wouldn't that mean he's not dead? Does that mean he's hooking up with Sansa Stark somewhere, and they're going to reboot and head to Winterfell and take that motherfucker back? I think so. So if the great John Umber's out there, and the Blackfish is out there, and Brienne's out there, and they all hook up, That's a hell of a Queensguard. Sansa's starting to get ready to come back to Winterfell and put a Stark back in Winterfell. I think we got that coming in the next couple episodes. So I have a question. Spoiler alert. This is from the books. So remember when the Brotherhood Without Banners was on the High Heart, talking to the ghost of High Heart on High Heart Hill, and she was telling them of their dreams, and she said, I dreamt of a girl with purple serpents in her hair, and that was talking about the purple wedding. And then she said, I dreamt of that same maiden slaying a giant in a castle made of snow. So, you know that's going to be Sansa coming back. Well, you don't know, but I think that's going to be Sansa coming back to Winterfell slaying a giant. Well, what giant is she going to be slaying? Do we think Robert Strong's going to make his way all the way back to Winterfell? I don't think so. You don't think she's going to kill Wun Wun, do you? No, she wouldn't kill Wun Wun, would she? She can't do that. So it's got to be an Umber, right? Because we know the giant is really supposed to be the Umber sigil, but they don't have the giant on the Umber sigil. They just have those chains. So what's going to be the giant that Sansa slays in the castle made of snow, which I'm assuming is Winterfell? Write it down below what you guys think, which giant you guys think Sansa's going to kill. I was wondering about that. Now, you know we had to finish with a bang or a... So we're back at Castle Black, and it's time for the traders to pay. Now I don't know what's up with only having 4 nooses, because there was way more than 4 people who stabbed Jon. And who was that extra in the noose, speaking up? I get nothing but puking for 4 minutes from one of the most intelligent characters on the show, but this guy gets a line? I do have to give it up one last time for Alistair Thorne, though. What a boss. This one truly died like a man. I did what I did, and I hope to have the balls to do it again, knowing the outcome if given the choice. He died for what he believed in, and without a whimper. I'll give him that. I fought, I lost, now I rest. A true OG. And little Ollie. I guess if you're man enough to kill, you're man enough to die. Sweet dreams, you little shit. And now my watch has ended. So do you think they shortened those ropes on purpose? I mean, not one of those cats snapped their neck. They all just had to kind of dangle there for a minute and choke out. It's like, hey, I guess you stabbed my Lord Commander. I mean, yep, that was intentional. You're going to get punished a little bit. But, man, all in all, a great episode. I'd love to come home and watch that one. All in all, I give it another 8. I mean, I thought it was great. Tower of Joy, I mean, step for step. Of course, knew that what was going to happen. They were going to show us an awesome fight. Nothing else. You got to wait. You got to wait. You got to wait. It's what we do with Game of Thrones. We wait, but we have fun while we do it. So, yeah, let me know what you guys thought. What was your favorite part? What didn't you like? Put it down below and let's talk about it. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs up it. And hey, go ahead and subscribe and you'll be the first to know when the next one comes out. I'm putting them out left and right now. I got a couple theories coming out. And yeah, Game of Thrones is on full bore. So until we see you next time, it's your boy DJ Wun Wun. I'm out. And until next time, game on.